And today they are taking the lead in your child's education. Joining us today with more is Dr. Kelly Van Sande, founder of Ignite Learning Academy. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so let's learn about this academy. What inspired you to open Ignite Learning Academy?
My entire career has been spent in education. I've wanted to be a teacher from as a little young toddler, and I became a teacher, a principal, public school superintendent, and I saw that there were still kids slipping through the cracks. And I thought there's got to be something we can do that's even better. And so I decided to open my very first school, and it was an online school so that we could really remove the barriers of those classroom walls and grouping students by their age and their classroom, and really individualizing education so that every child got what they needed when they needed it, no matter what their age or their grade level said. So we made sure that we were able to give them the content they needed, whether we had holes to fill or they needed to be accelerated a bit, whether they had special needs or they were gifted or they had weird scheduling things we were working around. But I knew we could do it in a better way if we could remove some red tape and we could just boil down and give them what they needed when they needed it. And we can do that through online schooling.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And you're doing it. You made it happen.
We have made it happen.
Okay, so what does it mean to be a female entrepreneur?
Oh, that's such a loaded question because, you know, we are trying to pave the way for young women that are going to come after us, and we're looking and seeing what those who have come before us have done. We're creative and we're thinkers and we're action takers. And sometimes it's scary, but we're risk takers, and we're paving the way for our own daughters and those that are going to come after us. But it is a very exciting thing to see what we can make happen when we do take these risks. You know, to see an idea that, you know, formed years ago come full scale into a school that has new students joining us, you know, almost every week. We're seeing the academic progress these kids are making, where they're making multiple years academic gains every single year that they're with us. We see students coming to us from word of mouth because their families are seeing their students are thriving, and they're telling other parents, come here, you know, your child is going to thrive.
Right.
And to hear that, I couldn't be any happier. It's like, whoa, we've arrived. You know what this one little idea was, the seed that was planted, it's working and it's thriving, and the kids, their communities, they're thriving. And that's all you can ask for. That's the greatest hope that we had.
And so you're loving being this entrepreneur. You can tell you have a lot of passion behind it.
Absolutely.
So this is a common question. How do you balance your career and your personal life?
Well, you know, as a working woman, that's a hard thing to do. I have young kids myself, they're school age. When I first had this, you know, idea, this dream to set out and open my first school, I was working a full-time job and had to figure out, what am I going to do? And I'm going to take this risk. And my biggest advice to any person who is an entrepreneur is you have to have time when you just decide it's mom time or it's wife time or it's just me time. And for me, that's about 5 o'clock each day. I know that work is going to be there tomorrow. It's never going to go away. My inbox is never going to be empty at 5 p.m. I'm waiting for that day, but it's never happened yet.
That's a good thing, though.
Right? It means business is rolling, right? But it's not going to happen. So I know that for me, at 5 o'clock or thereabouts, I'm going to turn away from my computer. I'm going to come upstairs, and that's mom time. And work's going to be there tomorrow and the next day and the next day. But I just need to mentally make that shift and come home from work, turn off the computer, and have that time with my family. Understanding there will be days when that's impossible, but I just need to set that limit for myself and make that a goal and a priority in my own life so that I can really have that time that is set aside for my family and for me.
That's good that you do that, for sure. Okay, so let me ask you this. If someone's interested in Ignite Academy, how do they go about it? Is it affordable?
It is. Actually, every student in Arizona can attend at no cost out of pocket to their family because of the Arizona Empowerment Scholarship that is available to all students in Arizona. Our tuition is actually lower than the amount that all students can receive in Arizona, which means tuition is not a barrier. So if you're interested in enrolling, ignitelearningacademy.com, you can get more information, but tuition is not a factor. So in Arizona, your child can get a private school education at no cost out of pocket, fully funded, with the state money that would normally follow your child to a public school. You as the parent can say, you know what, I think this might be a better option for my child. You can enroll with us, and that money will follow your child right to our school.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon and sharing all of that information, and valuable information at that.
Thank you for having me.
And if you want to learn more, go ahead and visit ignitelearningacademy.com or call the number there on your screen.